Hi guys, welcome to the Printing Beat. Let's have a look at our equities review. This is going to be fast and furious, so let's get going. So we had a rejection candle on the weekly chart, strong volume on the Dixie here. If we bring it to the daily chart, you can see been going up for 3 days. We would expect that we'll get a retest of this week here to somewhere around the 96.1, and then continue, trying to go for higher prices. So for next week, I think you can expect this to come and test this week. There's a possibility we also hit this point first before, somewhere around the 97.6. So, somewhere where I've got my alert here, 97.5, hit that, and then come and do a retest of this week, and then continue the journey to the upside would be what we would say for next week. It doesn't mean the fall is over, but that's just a projection for next week. Let's move on to the next pair. So the next one we've got is the NASDAQ. The Nasdaq on the weekly chart, again, we closed a very positive close on the week. We've gone outside the KC band, so yeah, I'd expect that we will go higher again next week after a small pullback. After a small pullback, we expect this to go for higher prices. So this move that we calculated here, which is about 30% to about 29, we're still on track for it. So that's looking good for the Nasdaq into next week. Let's move on to the next pair. It is SPX. So the XPX again also close solid green outside the KC channel, strong close. We would expect us to go for higher prices. I think probably 2 more weeks of upside, 2 to 3 weeks of upside on the XPX would be what would say. So you may get a small pullback and then you continue the journey to the upside. Let's move on to gold. Gold. So gold, as you can see here, let's move on. Let's use this one, actually, the one with the volume. So we have this pattern here, and we calculated that we'll be hitting somewhere around the 337, somewhere here, 37, between here, 37, 10, and here, and I think we've come to that three. We almost touched the 310. We almost touched it. But the close is good. I still like the close here. The weekly close is good, although there's a bit of a selling pressure here. I think we'll go for higher prices one more time here on gold. We've done 2 weeks, and I think we're left with the last week. Normally, you close outside, you go for 2 to 3 weeks up, and then you have the correction. There's so much liquidity sitting around this candle. It will be taken, so it's just a patient game here. If you move on to 4 hours and see what we're getting here, so we've had a stopping candle here, big volume stopping candle, and there's too much liquidity sitting between here and all the way here, and also sitting right at the top. So I'd expect this move to continue going up, knock all the stop losses, and all the liquidity around here, and also to the upside here. So yeah, so I think for next week, we'll move this interest bar of ours to slightly somewhere here. I think 3,723. Let's lock it in. That's probably where we would get to, and at that point, yes, we'll start, having a proper cascade down. I mean, this candle here is more likely to be exceeded. So this move is just to take liquidity off this candle and also slightly higher. So that's gold for us. Let's move on to oil. I think oil is on, or GBP USD is the next pair that we look at. So GBP USD is on the weekly chart. Let's look at it from a weekly chart perspective. So we did go slightly up. We went to 37, didn't get to our 38, which was our line that we drew for last week. And we have a stopping candle on it. I think we will still go slightly higher back into this candle. So, we'll probably I think we can expect to get maybe somewhere here. We'll get something like that for next week. And then potentially after that, you would expect us to continue going down from here. So GBP USD, I think finally we can say we've got a topping signal here that we like. So we'd expect a small bounce. And then if we go to the 1 hour chart, have a look at the 1 hour chart. Yeah, so we can come all the way back up, and test here, somewhere here. So I think we'll move this back up to somewhere there and lock it in. So I would expect the test to be somewhere there, and then you continue the leg to the downside because you're well oversold here. Okay, so that's GBP USD. Let's move on to oil and go and see what oil is doing. So oil on the weekly chart, or you can see on the weekly chart. Okay, so last week we did bounce up. We didn't get to our kind of line, but we did bounce up. It's not too far from it. And I think next week again, I would expect something similar again. So I probably put it somewhere here. Let's lock it in somewhere there as a comeback on this candle before you continue the leg to the downside. So that's oil. And I think that's all the equities that we wanted to obviously touch on. I think I will just quickly have a look at the VIX and see what the VIX is doing. Okay, so we have a divergence on the weekly chart on the VIX. So you can expect volatility to start coming strongly into the market. So we kind of touched our box here. And with this divergence on the weekly chart, would expect volatility to come into the market, and therefore is going to be choppy and volatile into the coming week, most likely. So we can expect the volatility index to start going up again. So that is all I've got for these equities reviews. I wish you all the best. This is just what I'm doing and I'm sharing it. It's not financial advice. It's just what I'm doing. Guys, make your own decisions on your own analysis and be accountable for your own trades and your own decisions. And I wish you all the best. God bless. Ta ta.